Hello, it's time again for our joke of the day. So today we're going to take you to a Pacific island that gets a great quantity of rain and is well populated. And the people of that island were agricultural and had just begun learning to plant crops. And so they planted their crop, grain was in the ground, plants began to come up, the adequate rain, they grew straight and tall, the grain began to fill out in the heads. And on the day before they were ready to harvest, an awful large flock of terns come flying in and ate all of their crop, left them barely enough to subsist on until the next planting season. So they planted their crops one more time. The crops came up, plants were growing straight and tall, the grain was forming in the ear. They were all excited. The harvest was coming in just a few days. And in come this big flock of terns again and ate all of their grain. So one more time, they had a tough time until the next planting season. Very difficult, eating on just whatever they could find. So they planted again the next spring. And as they planted, soon the plants had sprouted and the stalks began to grow straight and tall. And as the plants grew, the chief of the tribe had all of his men gather up rocks and begin to pile them on one end of the island. Sure enough, harvest time was coming, and they looked, and the grain was up straight and tall. The grain was in the head. It was time to harvest. They looked up, and the sky was darkening as the terns began to come in. So all of them ran to the end of the island where the rocks were, and they began to throw rocks at these terns, causing them just one after another to fall over dead, until they had eliminated the threat of the terns and saved their crop. There was great rejoicing. And as they were walking back to the village, one of the villagers looked over and saw a tern jumping up to his feet and flopping his wings and getting ready to take off. And another villager grabbed a rock and was getting ready to throw it at him. And the one said, no, just let it go. It's only one tern. Let's let him live. What harm could he do? So they harvested the crop. They had a great season. They had festivities. They had feast. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. The next spring they planted their seeds with faith. Up came the stalks, and they grew straight and tall in the summer sun and with plentiful rains. Soon the grain was formed in the heads, and they were looking forward to harvest in just a few days, when all of a sudden the sky darkened and all these terns come flying in, and they ate all the crops again. And the moral of the story is, never leave a tern unstoned. Hope you enjoyed it. Next time.